So I'm taking a few minutes before my next meeting to just walk along the beach's boardwalk. So you can see on this Monday morning as we approach lunch, the types of activities you can see here. I noticed there's some city workers. Not sure what they're working on. One gentleman was digging a hole in the sand next to the boardwalk. This boardwalk, by the way, actually runs all the way to where the volleyball nets are, and running parallel to it, sometimes at different angles, is basically the path, the bicycle and rollerblade path. Ooh, nice and sunny now. Kids love this beach. In the summertime, you'll see a lot of the rock balancers creating all kinds of structures, showing stones that make you look twice in terms of how it is that they're not falling down. They seem to defy the laws of gravity. Of course, it's all using leverage, weight. One of the other things I enjoy is the variety of cars and architecture at the beach. And there's one of many signs, the Discovery Walk. You get to actually enjoy some of the exercise stations that they have set up all the way along here. Our friends the seagulls. I'm not sure what they do to control the seagulls, because at the bluffs they're much more populous. And the ducks, I'm not seeing too many ducks and geese today. You see over there, there's some over there. You can see them. Compared to the bluffs, which is just east of here along the shoreline, this is just a small fraction. So I'm guessing they're doing some kind of animal control to keep them clear or to keep them in check. You see just the beautiful scenery. And then you have the Scarborough flag flying, blue one. There's the structure that's been photographed and painted for decades that's become an icon of the beaches and of Toronto. Now, last year there was a big water level because of the flooding that happened in Toronto, 2017 flooding, and it was hard getting near that place because the beach was literally underwater. And it was unprecedented in terms of the historical water levels. There we go. There's some ducks. This boardwalk will continue for quite a distance. I'd say at least another kilometer to where most of the volleyball, the beach volleyball nets are that attract so many weekend athletes. So this is how far it goes in that direction, all the way to the Balmy Beach Club, which has a patio and also has a facility that they rent out in the bottom for gym, a small niche gym where they do half of their routines outside on the boardwalk or by the boardwalk. Sure beats being indoors at some of these urban workout centers where you feel you're just like on a treadmill or just closed in by four walls. At least you have the view here, which is astounding. Outstanding. Now, one of the things about this area is if you have any kind of real estate that's close to the water or has a view of the water, it's pretty expensive, and these people don't tend to sell. Very rarely do I see a for sale sign on any of the properties that are along the waterfront. You can see some people meeting, just enjoying some books. You see a lot of people reading and writing. Photographers you'll see. I like this building here. It looks like they keep up the outside. It's right on the path, and you're looking right at the water.
It's a nice spot.
Absolutely beautiful. You can see the wind blowing today. Canadian flag flying strong. So I like this section here. When I rollerblade, I find this section quite comforting because it has a good shadow, great view, and you're close to water. The beach narrows here a bit. But look at this tree. There are many trees like this one. It's huge. Look at the circumference of the trunk. It's like a great grandfather. Strong, majestic, well-rooted. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. You can see some of the sheds they have here. They've done a good job. There's quite a bit of money that they spend in the area on renovations and making the home comfortable and attractive and functional. With homes at the beach, you don't really need a cottage, which is, I think, one of the reasons why people will spend the money, is that rather than have to buy a cottage and a home, they buy a home that acts as their cottage. And this is the other thing I like, that I've seen more at the beach than any other neighborhood. It's the My Library boxes, where you can take a book and leave a book. And they have a few books in there now, but that kind of thing, see? I'm just gonna walk along the path, but on the side of it, because I don't want to get run over, just in case somebody comes along the curb, along the there we go, along the bend in the path. Sometimes some bicyclists will go quite fast along here. So we're approaching actually one of the exercise stations, which is great if you want to get a little bit of exercise. I had a friend who actually had a routine that he did, and he was in fantastic shape. It looked like he was going to a gym every day, and he wasn't. He was just using basically these stations, and for cardio he'd move between the stations to get fit. And he was anaerobically very fit, and he had quite a bit of mass on him too, all from these stations. No weights at all. Resistance of his own body weight. So imagine using the station while you're overlooking the water. And we have our friend Mr. Squirrel. Hello. He's checking me out to see what goodie I have for him. And unfortunately I didn't bring any, my friend. I didn't bring any. Sorry. I didn't bring any. Nope. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So animals are very friendly here. People treat them well. They feed them. Their biggest concern would be the dogs. Some of the dogs maybe that are not from the area, not used to it, may want to chase the squirrel. So there's that iconic lifeguard station that I mentioned before. It's fenced in right now, so it looks like they're doing some work around it. And there are more homes along here. Beautiful. This is where the parking is for the beach. For those fortunate to get here early on the weekends, they can find a parking spot. Otherwise, it's quite challenging because there's people from all over the GTA that come here because of the fact there's so many people here, it's so beautiful, so many activities, and there's also buskers in the summer or on weekends that are performing. I've seen some great performers. That is the curling club, I believe they call it the curling club. We're going to check out the plate. This is an interesting station here. I've met individuals, and I've seen them myself coming early in the morning on weekends that have exercise yoga classes, meditation classes, different activities going on here. And it's quite comfortable. It's open concept but covered. And it's accompanied by these two huge trees. Huge trees. Now this is going to continue. I'm not going to go along all the way to where the beach volleyball nets are, but there's some tennis and hockey in this area. There's a hockey rink just up ahead. On the other side of this lawn bowling court. This is Kew Beach, by the way. And guess what? There's a sign, Kew Beach Lawn Bowling Club. There's people here that compete and socialize. Now, on the other side of that rink are the tennis courts. You can actually belong to a tennis club, take tennis lessons. I had a friend many, many years ago that used to take tennis lessons here, and she was quite thrilled at it. Made her feel wonderful. You just see the beauty of the park. And it has a nice variety of plants as well. Now look at this tree. Speak about character. Look at that tree. Almost looks like it has a little bit of wrinkles in the neckline there. Little pocket, just beautiful. And there's 1, 2, 3 trees like that. And then it looks like there's 3 more trees of the same variety over there. I'm not sure if those are Austrian, no, I'm not sure what they are. And then another huge tree over there. So if you like trees, this is definitely someplace you want to hang out. Now, I'm gonna go to the tennis. There, you can see a tennis club. I'm gonna see if I get close to the tennis club, close enough for you to see. And then I'm gonna go north, away from the water. Right now we're going perpendicular to the water. We've cut away from the water a bit. The beach is on the other side of the clubhouse for the lawn bowling. Now these trees are manicured, well taken care of. There's actual trucks and individuals that go around taking care of this. I think full time. I think there's always somebody on the property with their actual carts going around and manicuring them. So you see, oh, over yonder, over there, see the nets of tennis? There's quite a few of them. And there's, as I mentioned, instructors. Yeah, you should be able to see. Ooh, looks like Mr. Squirrel found a nut. All right, so I'm going to turn there. That's the tennis courts. I'm going to turn going this way. There is a children's park. Children's, what do you call it? Oh, I can't think of it right now, but children's park where they have swings and slides and even a water pad right straight ahead. Past the clearing, you can see that the kids swinging. It's quite beautiful. It has a fence and parents can feel fairly safe. This year is almost like a huge picnic area. Now I believe you can actually book this for events by getting a permit. There's the barbecue pit. Baseball right here. And this is staff, park staff. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 vehicles. There are 4 vehicles there. Now, oh, the wind's coming again. On the other side of this baseball is a stage. There's been some great performances there. One year I took my kids to the, it was like a Celtic dancer thing, Lord of the Dance kind of performance. It was beautiful, it was wonderful. Kids were dancing, it was packed. People sitting all over on the lawn, some brought their own chairs. I think this is also where they have the Shakespeare in the Park happening, among movie nights in the park and things like that. You can see the winds picked up. There you are. There's the bandstand or stage, whatever you want to call it. Great view. And on the other side of that, you can see just to the right, on the other side of that stage or band shell is Queen Street East. A lot of great restaurants and nifty shops. Lots of squirrels. Now, once in a while, you'll get people filming movies in here. I think they did a television show here, a dating show they had done in this park, or at least an episode of it. There you go. You have kids playing there. During lunchtime, the kids would come here and have their lunch. There's no reason to stay in the schoolyard when you have this beautiful scenery around you. And there's a couple of schools very close to here. And they have the water fountain, if you're thirsty, with a little statue. You can hear the birds chirping. And the canopies are just beautiful, beautiful. You know, I traveled through a lot of Europe, and I saw beautiful parks and destinations like this. And then after a while, I realized I didn't have to go far. With all the ethnicities in Toronto, I get to experience culture, languages, customs, and even a variety of architecture from all over the world right here in this city. And I get to meet all kinds of exciting people and have fantastic conversations that continue to broaden my perspective and keep me informed of what's happening around the world. Just by hanging around places like this where people are relaxed and they're willing to talk to you, they're polite, educated, in a lot of cases relaxed, especially after they've been rollerblading or kayaking or walking their dog. The only thing I would change is I would find more time to enjoy this, because one of the things about being in the city is unless you have an abundance of money, you're working to try and pay to be in neighborhoods like this, because they're not cheap. There's so many people competing for prices, and rightfully so, that you have to have a good job or a good income of some sort, or be lucky enough to win a lottery or have an inheritance. So we're just going to walk towards the beach again. I don't know if you noticed, we turned our right to go south. Now I'm trying to avoid, there we go, trying to avoid pedestrians that want to respect their quiet time. So here's another street where I sometimes park if I could find a spot. And there's always work being done. Toronto has more cranes than in the air than the top 3 US cities combined. And you can't go anywhere in Toronto without coming across a number of cranes. That's how active construction is in Toronto. This is a beautiful house right here. It's a heritage home, and it's sitting on city parkland, which means it's owned by the city. I'm not sure if anybody's actually living there, or if it's just being used by the workers, but it looks like the light on the side is on. Just beautiful. Look at that. Imagine living in a place like that. So this is where we had entered the park, just up ahead, and when we started talking about the lawn bowling, and you can see the sky where that jogger ran by. That's the lake right there, the boardwalk and the lake. I hope you appreciate this. I hope it's actually giving you a taste of what it's like to be at the beach. I chose this day because there weren't a lot of people and the sun wasn't so bad and the cool breeze. So I wanted to be able to just walk and help you enjoy or appreciate what kind of enjoyment you can get at the beach. The flavor changes slightly on weekend when you have a lot of people coming in who are here to compete for volleyball or doing different things, because it gets busier. But you have a lot more relaxed people during the daytime. And there is the actual structure that we walked by before. Well, some dog is excited about going for a walk at the beach. There's another city truck. As I said, they maintain this place. This is the Peace Garden, City of Toronto, Department of Parks and Rec Peace Garden, in recognition of today's youth. So we walked from the other direction. I'm just walking back there. I'm not going to record a lot of it, unless there's a reason to, and I don't think there is at this point. You've seen enough of it. I didn't walk all the way to the tennis courts because it's a little bit of a farther walk, and I don't have that time, unfortunately. My time is running a bit short. Oh, we have a rollerblader coming along. There we go. So I hope you've enjoyed the walk with me along the beach. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If there's other areas you want me to walk through, let me know. But for now, I'm going to say farewell and have a great day. And I hope your lifestyle is what you want it to be, and you're living in the community and the home that you want to be living in. Because if you're not, you're missing out on a big part of life. So buy where you're comfortable, where you want to live. Buy a home that gives you the type of daily living that you want. Feel good about yourself. Live your life. Have a great day.